Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. On behalf of AstraZeneca, I'm really excited to be here to speak to all of you and share a little bit more about what science can do in the space of innovation and digital disruption in oncology and cancer clinical research trials. My name is Dr. Victoria Chiou, and I head up clinical excellence and innovation here at Late Development Oncology in AstraZeneca. Today, I'd like to discuss 4 key topics. First, the opportunities that are available when it comes to pushing new boundaries for research. Secondly, the importance of patient centricity and putting patients at the heart of what we do. 3, how these elements of innovation also include sustainability for our patients, our society, and the planet. And finally, that impact of digital disruption, because innovation can take really so many different forms. So starting with the discussion around pushing the boundaries of science, I know that for some of you, this may be an introduction to the industry setting, and would like to spend a little bit of time talking about AstraZeneca in the pharmaceutical space and how we approach innovation when it comes to clinical cancer research. We are a very values-driven organization that focuses on the science, being driven by that science, and then building our success across areas like oncology to really drive and accelerate the delivery of medicines that ultimately can provide that value for patients in our society. As you can see here from our CEO, Pascal, a message here really highlighting the unique challenges of 2021. Certainly a unique year in the pandemic, but another remarkable year as far as the opportunity for us to deliver medicines to patients, and ultimately a year in which we played a leading role in changing the course of the pandemic. Despite that ongoing challenge of the COVID-19 pandemic, we continued as researchers to advance the delivery of our strategy for patients in research. And it was really an important year to progress the next wave of science and to deliver results of multiple clinical trials that really have the potential to redefine our clinical care. During the space, we've also really worked to contribute in innovation for the health of society and the planet, especially in tackling efforts of the biggest public health crisis of our lifetime and reducing carbon footprint. We are constantly thinking about the importance of patients and wanting to ensure that our medicines are reaching people who stand to most benefit from the medicines that are in place. And one of the critical challenges for us moving forward, critical opportunities for us moving forward, is to harness these unprecedented advances in science, as well as this convergence of data and digital technology to develop better medicines faster with clearer benefits for patients. These technologies will also help us demonstrate the value of medicines and put more control into the hands of patients who can use them. We're a sustainable organization committed to having that positive impact on society and really seeking to be an important ally in the quest to meet rising global demands for effective healthcare, especially in the setting of oncology and cancer research. On the next slide, you'll see listed here a summary of some key approaches. And again, in the backdrop of a rapidly changing world, the fundamentals of our research strategy for innovation remain unchanged. Working globally, serving patients worldwide, focusing on the science. We're led by innovation at the core of everything that we do. We're focused on multiple therapy areas, as you can see listed here, and of primary interest to the group today is really that focus on oncology, but many of you may also be aware of our work in the immunology space, vaccines, and immune therapies. We have a strong innovation focus on our patients, and we are working globally as well to really look at these interconnections between the needs of society and the limitations of the planet. On the next slide, you can see our global reach and presence, which certainly includes a significant footprint as well in India. with a number of global research and development centers. We have 11 research and development centers across 5 countries, 28 manufacturing sites across 16 countries, and presence for commercial all across the globe, operating in 130 countries worldwide. We also have A.Catalyst Network, as you can see listed here, which really focuses on innovation around the world and our opportunity to engage innovators from different hubs and come together to innovate and advance the improvement of healthcare, unifying solutions that may be uniquely suited for specific hubs, and at the same time leveraging a strong global network of physical locations and virtual partnerships where we can really drive innovation between patients, medicine, technology, healthcare professionals, and policymakers, with that ultimate goal of ensuring better outcomes for patients. As an organization, we have multiple strategic priorities that include innovation, really focusing on accelerating that next wave of new molecular entities, building our capabilities, and also pursuing the next wave of science when it comes to new scientific modalities. And speaking now to the healthcare needs of our changing world, global trends continue to increase the demand for healthcare, and innovative breakthroughs in technology are necessary to help drive and improve health outcomes. The COVID-19 pandemic has highlighted challenges and accelerated healthcare innovation and change. As you can see listed here, 6 key areas that I'd like to highlight of how there are opportunities and challenges in this changing space, especially in the setting of the pandemic. First, the identification of slowing global economic recovery. We're starting to see increasing changes amid fresh threats from COVID-19 variants. And this could coincide as well with different changes across various kinds of emerging countries and spaces in the developing economic space. Similarly, we'll also see growing and aging populations. People worldwide are living longer. And by 2030, 1 in 6 people will be over the age of 60. By 2050, the world's population of people aged greater than 60 will double to 2.1 billion. And while this shift in distribution towards older ages has started in some countries, it is now in other countries that we're seeing the greatest experience of change. There's also an increasing burden of chronic disease. People of all age groups, all regions, all countries being affected, with multiple risk factors that must be accounted for when it comes to elements of protocol design and clinical research innovation. Similarly, the growing importance of digital in healthcare. And digital is one component of our innovation. Data management in healthcare is moving beyond storing data to focusing on extracting insights on population health management and value-based care to improve health outcomes and personalized healthcare. Innovations in technology are allowing people to monitor their own health and become active participants in managing their healthcare. For example, the Internet of Things applications and technologies are influencing patient engagement strategies and ultimately improving patient interactions with healthcare systems. Innovation also includes opportunities in sustainability. And again, in this changing world, we're seeing health impacts from climate change. Climate change affects many determinants of healthcare and health. Clean air, safe water to drink, sufficient food, secure shelter. Extremely high temperatures can raise pollutant levels that could then exacerbate respiratory disease and potentially increase the risk for certain cancers. Similarly, we're also seeing variable rainfall patterns affecting water supply, again, compromising risks of other diseases. And these are all important factors when it comes to drug development and the needs for patients to access clinical trials. We're also seeing the continued impact of COVID-19. And again, the COVID-19 pandemic has driven changes in the healthcare system, spending that impact access to medicines. For example, where hospital beds may have been scarce before, now there's a challenge for prioritizing treatments to keep patients out of the hospital. We're also seeing that the pandemic has demonstrated that when it's needed, we can work together and healthcare systems can move quickly to grant rapid access to innovative new treatments and medicines in the context of COVID vaccines. So taking this one step further, the COVID-19 pandemic is a challenge to humanity that has demanded a global united response, not just from the scientific community, but also from pharmaceutical industry, organizations, governments, and every single person around the globe. In early 2020, when the true scale of this crisis became clear, AstraZeneca committed to help defeat COVID-19 by harnessing and sharing our scientific knowledge and expertise to advance and accelerate the development of potential medicines to prevent or treat the virus. Recognizing the urgent need for a vaccine, joining forces with the University of Oxford to bring that world-class expertise in vaccinology with our global development and manufacturing capabilities, we then accelerated clinical development, innovated, rapidly mobilized partnerships, and a global supply chain to support broad, timely, and equitable supply of a safe and effective vaccine around the world at no profit during the pandemic. Together with global partners, we supplied 2.5 billion vaccine doses to more than 180 countries in 2021. And ultimately, these changes have led to our continued innovation in the research space. Bolstered by our resiliency in these times, our research and development hubs continue to maintain momentum and draw motivation from our values to continue to follow the science, do the right thing, and put patients first. So what does that look like in the setting of oncology? Again, we have a broad portfolio, but the major focus area today really being in the oncology space, where we really are focusing on a combination of capabilities that are distinct. Small molecules, oligonucleotides, and other emerging drug platforms that you can see listed here across the broader pipeline, as well as biologics that focus on immunotherapy and that focus on innovative delivery devices so that we can offer a broad choice of platforms for patients. We are also reinforced by a really strong focus on innovation in precision medicine, aiming to match medicines only to those patients who will benefit from them. And this really gives us a unique integrated capability. In the oncology setting, we are leading a revolution to redefine cancer care with that ambitious goal to provide cures for cancer in every form. From a clinical strategy perspective, we are working to transform survival. From the perspective of medicines, portfolio, and pipeline, we are really aiming to focus on the most hostile and hard to treat cancers: pancreatic cancer, certain blood cancers, and cancers within the breast, lung, ovarian, and prostate. By understanding the complexities of these cancer types, we can truly achieve life-changing benefits for patients. Patient experience is important, and we are catalyzing changes in the practice of medicine to transform the patient experience. We currently cultivate, through our innovative practices, an unwavering commitment to patients and our science-driven and global organization with medicines distributed to millions of people around the world for cancer treatment. We have been working as well to lead and break through barriers in order to really implement the latest innovations in cancer care. And really everything that we do begins with the science and centers around that passion for patients. So putting patients at the heart of what we do, our vision is to deliver an innovative healthcare experience and outcomes that people care most about so that our patients with cancer can enjoy fulfilling lives. And every decision that we make across that patient experience is really informed by what patients tell us matters the most to them. We've been looking towards innovations in the insights perspective to think about prevention and awareness, that opportunity for early intervention. And our responsibility to patients starts with helping people stay well, partnering with patients and caregivers to understand their unique needs. We also work with patients and caregivers in diverse communities to help us understand and address specific needs of those communities. And similarly, we've also worked as well to really incorporate community investment programs and artificial intelligence-enabled virtual health assessment services. From the perspective of diagnosis, personalized medicine is the future of healthcare, and driving early diagnosis can be vital. So we do follow the science to utilize and find personalized innovation solutions. We have multiple partnerships with diagnostic and technology companies that help us ensure a smooth and rapid transition from a precise diagnosis to the right treatment of an individual. So again, utilizing data and artificial intelligence to optimize our diagnoses. Transitioning to treatments, again, our clinical trials are designed in partnership with patients and caregivers to measure what they tell us is most important to them, including an impact on the quality of life, tolerability of any side effects, and how easy that medicine is to take. When we set up a clinical trial, we seek to enroll participants that represent the population that the medicine will help the most. And ultimately, this enables us to obtain accurate data and reduce delays in access to that drug and the approval processes. So again, utilizing innovation as far as medicines development, as well as digital therapeutics. From the recovery perspective, patients and caregivers can share with us how the disease impacts their daily lives. And this collaborative approach enables us to continue to design and deliver support services that will meet their needs. Transitioning to life after treatment, it is important for us to be able to monitor and manage the patient's health and help people reduce the risk of disease. Insights from patients and caregivers from diverse communities have helped us create new practices and technologies that allow people to take an active role in their own health through tools that include digital sensors, integrated apps, connected devices, artificial intelligence. It's a really exciting time in oncology, especially when we put patients first. And we're working towards a future where all people will have access to sustainable and affordable healthcare. We're continuing to partner with governments, regulators, and patient groups to ensure that people all over the world have access to our innovative medicines. So increasing sustainable patient access really builds upon our research success in creating innovative medicines and also working to improve access. And in this way, we are supporting the transformation of healthcare delivery and aiming to deliver that greatest benefit to both patients and societies worldwide. We work collaboratively in innovative ways for payers to evaluate how medicines can become more affordable for patients and to ensure that we're delivering the value and outcomes that patients care about the most. In addition, we're working on contributing sustainably to society and the planet. And at AstraZeneca, sustainability is part of our DNA. It is embedded in everything that we do, from the lab to the patient, and sustainability is a key part of our innovation. Our future depends on healthy people, healthy society, healthy planets. And since all these elements are interconnected, we are united by our desire to push the boundaries of science to deliver life-changing medicines in a sustainable way that's also respectful of our planet. And together, by utilizing science, innovation, and these partnerships as listed here, we do believe that there's an opportunity for a positive impact by embedding sustainability into our work, focusing on three key areas: access to healthcare, environmental protection, and ethics and transparency. We're also working to really secure a future where all people around the world have access to affordable and sustainable healthcare medicines. And the innovation in this space includes a variety with a number of stakeholders to enable us to think of new ways to remove barriers to healthcare and drive equitable access. We work through company policies and programming partnerships to incorporate access programs to address affordability and pricing so that there's increased access for medicines for diverse patient groups. And as one example of that, we've worked in partnership with AmoyDX to achieve a 65% cost reduction in testing for homologous recombination deficiencies, a biomarker for cancers, making that genetic testing for ovarian cancer more affordable. We're also looking to really invest in multiple groundbreaking global collaborations, local partnerships, innovative company initiatives that enable us to build more resilient health systems and give access to and improve the quality of healthcare for more people. As part of our collective responsibility to innovate for a sustainable world, we are working together for people and the planet when it comes to innovation in our oncology research trials as well. We're focusing as a company on Ambition Zero Carbon to deliver absolute reductions in all of our direct and indirect sources of greenhouse gas emissions all throughout the chain, and really unlocking opportunities to deliver improved patient-centric healthcare in a low carbon atmosphere and economy. We have well-established programs to drive sustainability and to reduce energy, water, and material use, waste, and pollution generated from designing, manufacturing, and delivering medicines to patients. Our goal is for all parts of the components to be assessed against our sustainability index, and we're really committed to reducing our impact on the planet through efficient use of water and other resources when it comes to implementation and initiatives for our research trials. By promoting ethical, transparent, and inclusive policies and practices, these are new ways of thinking and are really embedded deeply into the culture of our company, as well as all of our partners. And therefore, we seek to really create a positive societal impact and embedding ethical behavior in all parts of the work that we do when it comes to clinical cancer research. Inclusion and diversity are fundamental to the success of our research because innovation requires breakthrough ideas that can really only come from a diverse workforce that's empowered to challenge conventional thinking. On this slide, you can see additional information about our flagship $1 billion Ambition Zero Carbon program, for which we are on track to reduce greenhouse gas emissions from global operations by 98% in 2026 and to have the entire value chain footprint by 2030 on the way to a 90% reduction by 2045. Again, innovation comes from so many parts of the research process. And here that opportunity for us to really evaluate energy consumption and to think about renewables, emissions, and next generation devices for the delivery of our medicines. In closing, innovation also includes the impact of digital components. And what you can see here are really the full life cycle of medicines. And as you can see on this diagram, there's multiple phases of a medicine life cycle when it comes to oncology clinical development. Identification of that potential medicine, preclinical studies, phase 1 trials, phase 2 trials, phase 3 trials, that regulatory submission and pricing component, the launch of a new medicine, that post-launch research and development component, and post-exclusivity. And all throughout the value chain of this life cycle of a medicine, there are opportunities for innovation across multiple components. We are really committed to the evaluation and incorporation of novel technologies and approaches, and also embedding innovation when it comes to utilizing better clinical tools, predicting clinical success, enhancing our understanding of disease, and pioneering new approaches in the clinic. This may come from the utilization and incorporation of molecular imaging and artificial intelligence. It may also come as well from really novel designs when it comes to methodology, digital technologies, and digital solutions. Artificial intelligence and machine learning have the potential to transform the way that we deliver and discover and develop new medicines. And we hope to be able to increase the probability of success and reduce timelines in our drug discovery processes by implementing advanced artificial intelligence and machine learning approaches. We're using artificial intelligence to help us analyze and interpret huge quantities of data at all stages of drug discovery and development. Our aims are to gain a better understanding of the diseases that we want to treat, to identify new targets for novel medicines, speed up the way we design, develop, and make new drugs, design and recruit for better clinical trials, and drive personalized medicine strategies. And we're embedding artificial intelligence across all of our research and development activities, from target identification to clinical trials, to understand where we can best harness these new technologies and further automate processes. Our vision is to really free up more time to discovering new drugs and continue to advance our innovative medicines. Patient centricity is at the heart of what we do, and we're committed to ensuring that we are not building in or reinforcing any barriers to access, and thus we are developing digital tools for patients without boundaries, with that focus on inclusivity, with that focus on the patient. Digital components are also necessary and supportive for us to provide next generations of evidence. And ultimately, that is the impact of addressing and evaluating the significance of unmet needs related to patients' health status and capturing patient experience as they're receiving our therapies on clinical trials. Innovative clinical trial designs with digital activities can be transformative. We are on a journey from doing digital to being digital, and our vision is of a future of integrated, individualized healthcare solutions that are focused on improved patient outcomes driven by science and digital technologies. A digital transformation is sweeping across our organization, and we're implementing this worldwide. It's empowering our people and our researchers, transforming our science, and accelerating the delivery and development of new therapeutics. Innovation and digital are helping enhance our understanding of disease biology, discovering new ways to target the drivers of disease, better predicting clinical success, pioneering new approaches to engagement in the clinic and beyond. We have always put patients first, and patients are at the heart of all we do. Digital is reinforcing our commitment to a patient-immersed culture in every aspect of our business, from discovery through to treatment and ongoing care. We're streamlining clinical trials and making them swifter, more convenient, and patient-friendly. We are building sustainability into our science practices and processes. We're increasing the use of automation. We're improving the speed and quality of manufacturing, the delivery of and access to our medicines, outcomes and support for patients, and the support and value of our healthcare systems. Ultimately, our belief in people, ideas, innovative science and technology are driving transformation, enabling us to better help shape the future of healthcare, oncology clinical research, and to better serve the communities of patients with cancer, including our wider society. In closing, I'd like to say thank you for the opportunity to meet with all of you today. And innovation really requires pushing new boundaries across our clinical cancer research space. It involves patient centricity at the heart of what we do and includes sustainability and approaches. It also includes that impact of digital transformation. And together with these innovative clinical trial designs and clinical trial methodology, science carries us further, innovation carries us further, and there's so much value for innovation and digital disruption in oncology clinical research trials. Thank you for allowing me to speak on behalf of AstraZeneca today